Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got in a rechargeable lantern to take a look at. This is coming from Hongleey and the model is the C21. This lantern is going to have multiple LEDs, which is going to allow us to have different color temperatures if we want. I believe this can also be like a power bank or battery bank for discharging, and there's quite a few other features on it too. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all those features and specifications of it, show you guys how to use it. We'll do some nighttime shots with it, and then give some thoughts on it. Quickly show you around the box. This was sent to me via Amazon. Whatever those little stains there were already on there when I received it. And I don't see anywhere other than the little like Amazon sticker that says Hongleey. I don't see like their name anywhere on the box. I don't see C21 anywhere either, but so it looks like this might be available in 3 different colors. And again, it is going to be a rechargeable lantern. And these are our color temperatures. We can have a 6,000 Kelvin, 4,500, or 3,000. Some inputs and outputs. And that's everything on the box. See what all is inside of it. So we're going to have a manual. Looks like the lantern itself. And I think there's something underneath this charging cable, it looks like. That charging cable is type A to type C. So we're going to be able to use the type C to charge up the lantern. But then we can put the type A into the other port that I'll show you in a bit, and then use it to discharge. So if you want to charge your cell phone or tablet or something like that, you'll be able to do that. Quickly show you the manual here, just the English side, just in case you decide to get this lantern, lose the manual, you can always come back to this video for reference. Alright, let's have a quick kind of look over here on this. It does appear to be pretty much all plastic. The handle up here is definitely plastic. Top is plastic. That lens is plastic. Base is plastic. Knob is plastic. There are some rubber feet down here. Now here this does say the model C21, but it still doesn't say Hongleey anywhere on the lantern that I see. And then we have our charging port back here and discharging, I guess. That's actually really thick. So yeah, our USB-C port, and then that's our in port, and then USB-A out. Our LEDs are likely going to be under that white kind of dome in there. And then this is kind of just like a reflector, but it is going to provide 360 degrees of light whenever we get into that. It says that the battery type on this is 18650, but it says that the battery capacity is 5200 milliamp hours, which is 19.24 watt hours. So they have to be using 2 18650s to be able to get those numbers. If it were completely dead, I think it takes about 3 to 4 hours to fully charge at 2 amps. This is going to have a low output of 10 lumens and a high output of 300 lumens, and it has stepless dimming, so we're going to be able to turn this knob and basically go anywhere we want in between 10 and 300. If we are on the high 300 lumens, this is going to last about 6 hours. If we're on the low 10, it's going to last about 150 hours. And then obviously somewhere in the middle is going to be somewhere in the middle of those two numbers. This is also going to have an LED screen, which is going to show us our battery capacity, like a battery status level. And then it's also going to show us our brightness level. So if we're between that 10 and 300, it'll, I think, go from like 1 to 100 or something, but we'll figure that out whenever we get it turned on. Grab you guys some close dimensions. So we're going to be right about 7 inches in length, and then probably near 4 inches in width. Might be a little bit more depending on where the handle is, but about 4. Grab you a weight here next. This is coming in at 13.2 ounces. And again, the batteries are already in there. And just so you know, I do not see any way of like twisting this off to get to the batteries. I don't think it's meant to be serviced. So again, we're going to have a warm white, a cool white, natural white, and there's also a red and then a red SOS. I know that the lantern does have like a mode memory. I don't know about the red SOS, we'll have to see if it does for that in a bit, but let's just kind of get into using it now. So the manual says that the modes are going to be warm white, and then the arrows should be cool white next, and then natural white, and then followed by red. This is actually wrong. It's going to come on in the cool white first, then go to warm, then natural, then red. And to turn it on, you're going to press in on this button here for just a couple seconds. And there's our cool white. And these here are just my fingerprints from kind of handling this. I'll clean it in a bit. But so right now we're at 73% battery capacity. When I turn this, that's not changing the battery capacity, it's changing our brightness level. See how it's dimming down? So now I'm down to around that 10 lumens, or I can turn this and go all the way up to the 100 lumens. I'm sorry, the 300 lumens, but that's 100% of it. So yeah, this is a percentage of your output, that number there. So let's just say I'm right there at 23%. Now this is going to change back to that 73. And I know it's also percent, it's a little bit confusing, but this is our battery. When it changes back to this is our battery. This here is just our output level. And again, 10 lumens all the way down, which is 1%. 300 lumens all the way up, which is 100% of that. So you can stop anywhere you want. Like if I want to be somewhere near 45 or 50 or whatever, like half the output, which would be about 150 lumens, that's where it'll stop at. Any number in between. Now if I want to switch to the next one, which is going to be that warm white, I just tap that one time. You can see that's a much more yellow color. And it's the same thing here. We can go anywhere from 1% to 100%. Stop on any number that you want. If we want to go to the next one, which is the natural white, it's this here. And I'll obviously give you guys some shots of these at night. And then the next one's going to be the red. It's very, very easy to do though. The button here actually feels pretty solid. When I'm turning it, I can feel a little bit of resistance behind it. It does not feel cheap or anything like that. And then there is that SOS red. And if we want it, you double tap this. So let's shut it off here, and you do that by long pressing again. And I'm going to wait a few seconds, and I'm going to long press to see if it comes back on in that red SOS. No, it does not. Kind of didn't think it would. I'm going to go back to just the solid red and make sure that that one does come back on in that. Yeah, it did. Now let's go to that white, shut it off, make sure it comes back on in that. Yeah, all the others seem fine. They'll all come on with the mode memory, just the SOS one does not. All right, let's see about charging and discharging here next. It's going to take type C to charge it up. I don't know if we get any type of indicators. All right, so charging there. Yeah, so it's flashing when it charges. I assume that this is going to eventually get up to 100% and then probably stop flashing once it gets there. Now let's switch the cable around, and we're going to go into the USB-A port up here, and then let's see if it'll charge this device. And it should be the same thing. It'll start flashing here. Yep. So the discharging is working perfectly fine. And if you needed additional light for whatever reason, plug it into that USB port right there and have all kinds of light. Maybe you're taking this lantern camping or something and need a fan. Again, I've removed the battery out of this, so it's just going through the USB right now. Working perfectly fine. Alright, this is the lantern on the lowest setting, and then I'm also going to show you guys at around 50% and then 100%. That is at 50%, and as you can see, that easily illuminates an entire room. And that is like the cool white at 100%. That is the warm white at 100%. The camera does adjust. It is a little more yellow in person than what the camera is showing. That is the neutral white, again at 100%. There we have the red at 100%. And finally the SOS. And here's the lantern outside. For reference, this deck is about 12 by 26, and I can easily see the entire thing. Well, hopefully seeing those nighttime shots was somewhat beneficial for you guys. Before we get into my final thoughts, I did want to show you guys, obviously the way this is set up right now, like you could hang this on a tree branch or something like that, but if you had like a tarp line or a clothesline or something like that, you can push this down and separate that and then slide it over something and then lock that back in place. So overall, I really do like this C21 lantern, and I would recommend it. I think that it has really good output, and then having that light being able to disperse 360 degrees really fills an area, whether you're inside or outside. I like that you can set the output to be exactly what number you want. I like that it has these multiple color temperatures. Most lanterns will not do that, including it has the red and the SOS. And I also like that, like, we could go to like this kind of yellow warm color and we could shut the thing off, and when we turn it back on, we're going to be on that same level and the warm. And so you could really kind of use this as a night light, in a bedroom or bathroom or something like that. So it comes on really soft and low for you. I like that it's USB-C rechargeable, and that is a fast charge. And I also like the fact that you can use this as a power bank to charge your phone or tablets, or like I showed, other lights or whatever you want. I mentioned possibly using this as a night light, but even during like a power outage, when you set this down on this lowest lumen output, which is still enough to illuminate a room, this is supposed to last up to 150 hours. So if you ran at 4 or 5 hours a night, that's going to last you a full month before needing to be recharged. So that's very impressive numbers on that. So like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, the entire thing is made out of an assortment of plastics, which probably doesn't make it the most durable thing if you were to drop it from a far distance. It does seem like it's well made. Everything seems like it's put together nicely, but I don't know about the durability of it. Another thing to mention is I don't see an easy way of replacing the batteries. Like, I didn't want to tear into it. You might be able to remove these little rubber feet here, and there might be some screws underneath here. But it's not probably meant to mess with the batteries. And I know a lot of people like to use their own batteries. And then the other thing is I could not find any warranty information anywhere, not on the Amazon listing and not in the manual. Obviously, having a lantern is great for camping. It's also good for power outages. I even use them if I'm out grilling, and it turns dark on me, or barbecuing or whatever, smoking something. Also good for like if you're just wanting to like play some games, outside, maybe on your patio or deck or something, card games, board games, whatever. They're nice just to set out there for that. So at the time of me finishing this video, these are coming in around $30, which I still think is a pretty fair price because it is a decent lantern. I will say, however, when I first received the lantern and I started looking at the Amazon stuff on it, they were only $20. It was like a $10 off coupon. So I will leave the Amazon link down in the video description. If you're interested, you can go find out more information or pick one up, or maybe just add it to your Amazon wish list and then see if that price doesn't drop in the next week or two. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit the like button, maybe even hit that hype button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it.